You were warned.
Kyoshoku Soukou Guyver.
The bio-boosted armor, Kyoshoku Soukou Guyver. Hello and welcome to Earth Alien ProtoMet. If you're wondering why I'm sitting in the book corner, it's because today I'll be taking a look at the manga series Kyoshoku Soukou Guyver, or Bio Booster Armor Guyver. A nearby explosion causes high school student Sho Fukamachi to encounter a strange object that quickly engulfs his body in a suit of organic armor. Suddenly plunged into the hidden underworld of a dark conspiracy, Sho desperately fights against zoonoids, genetically modified humans under the control of the mysterious Kronos organization, while trying to uncover the truth behind the bio-boosted armor known as Guyver. Hey, I'm over here now. You may have noticed that I didn't just use still images for the plot summary. There have been a number of adaptations of Guyver, from animated to live action, and I'll be talking about those various iterations later. But first, let's talk about the characters and setting. As mentioned before, Sho Fukamachi was just an ordinary high school student before encountering the Guyver unit, and it's no exaggeration to say that his life was turned upside down by the experience. Both of these points may sound cliche, but for Sho it's taken to such an extreme degree that it's surprised that he takes it as well as he does. The Guyver unit gives Sho a whole host of powers that he gradually learns to control as the series progresses. On top of greatly enhancing his physical strength, the suit also comes with an array of weapons, from sonic blades that extend from his elbows, to a laser beam he can shoot from the control metal on his forehead, to a powerful plasma blaster called the Giga Smasher that he can fire from his chest. The Guyver can even heal Sho's body should he sustain damage in a fight. And these are just some of his abilities, but just because he's now a sort of superhero doesn't mean he can rest on his laurels. For as powerful as the Guyver is, simply having it puts Sho through hell, as not only is he a target for Kronos, but so are his friends and family. Sho's closest ally is his friend Tetsuro Sagawa, who was present when Sho first bonded with the Guyver, and while that makes him a prime target, he steadfastly stands with his friend, even in the toughest situations. That doesn't mean he has any special skills, but he can still provide emotional support. His sister Mizuki is also Sho's childhood friend and the object of his affection. In an attempt to keep her safe, Sho and Tetsuro keep the truth of what happened to Sho a secret, but that doesn't prevent her from being targeted. Still, the siblings present helps to remind Sho what it is he's fighting for in his battle against Kronos. With their scientific know-how, Kronos is able to transform humans into animalistic zoonoids with various traits and abilities, and do so at a large scale. They can even create new types of zoonoids to deal with whatever problem arises, and control them using the psychic powers of specially enhanced zoonoids called Zoolords. The powerful Richard Guyo is the first of these Zoolords to be introduced, and even on his own he poses a dangerous threat to the Guyver. But there are still other Zoolords just as, if not more dangerous than him. What's more, the organization was able to recover one of the Guyver units, allowing Oswald Lisker to transform into Guyver 2. Thankfully for Sho, he's not the only one battling against Kronos, as one of Kronos' own agents, Agito Makishima, conspires against the organization to his own ends. Like Sho, he just happened to be in the right place at the right time, and as a result got his hands on one of the Guyver units, allowing him to secretly battle against Kronos as Guyver 3. And then there's the enigmatic Masaki Murakami, who joins the fight against Kronos for reasons unknown to either Sho or Agito. But it's thanks to his mysterious past that he can provide the Guyvers with more information about Kronos than even Agito knows. And with all that out of the way, I'll now talk about the various adaptations of the series. In late 1986, an LVA film adaptation of the series, released in the US as Guyver Out of Control, was released, featuring a plot and art style drastically different from the manga, as well as an infamous scene that I can't include in this video. It still manages to be an entertaining version of the story. From 1989 to 1992, a then ongoing OVA adaptation of this series saw release. Sticking closer to the plot of the manga than Out of Control did, this OVA series is one of the more well-known of the time, with an unflinching brutality that was a hallmark of the late 80s/early 90s OVAs. Interestingly, Riku Sanju, who worked on the Dragon Quest manga The Adventure of Dai, and would later be the head writer of a number of tokusatsu shows, including Kamen Rider Double and Zuden Sentai Kyoryuger, which are among my favorites of their respective series, would be the writer for the first half of this OVA series. In 1991, a live-action movie based on the series was released in the US by New Line Cinema. Directed by Steve Wang and Screaming Mad George, much of the plot of the series was changed for the film, such as Sho being replaced with Sean Barker, played by Jack Armstrong, as well as a more comedic tone at times. But at its heart, the Guyver is a spectacle for the eyes, featuring a versatile cast of B-movie actors and fantastic costumes, practical effects, and high-speed action, making it one of the best adaptations of a manga/anime to this day. In 1994, a sequel, Guyver, Dark Hero, was released. Replacing Jack Armstrong with David Hayter, the film saw Sean going in search of the mysteries of the Guyver, as the film utilized more elements of the source material in creative ways, while still having a lot of the visual flair that made the first movie so good. Hayter, famous for his voice acting works as Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid series, used the pseudonym Sean Barker for several of his anime roles, including Lupin III in Castle of Cagliostro and Bernie Wiseman in Gundam 0080. And in 2005, a second anime adaptation of the series was made, covering not just what the original OVA series depicted, but also extending further into the plot of the manga before ending on what amounts to a cliffhanger. While the animation is cleaner than the original anime, it holds back on the bloodier aspects of the series, while also adapting some of the Guyver novels that I've never read, making for a technically fuller, yet still incomplete story. Aside from the movies, which are their own continuity, there doesn't seem to be any version capable of telling the full story of the bio-boosted armor, as even the manga is unfinished and has been on hiatus for nearly a decade apparently. That having been said, this gritty tokusatsu-inspired tale is incredibly interesting. I hope we'll one day be able to finally close the book, quite literally, on this series, but until then, Kyoshoku Soukou Guyver is well worth your attention. Until next time, I'm ProtoMet. See ya.